No, you want to stay here. Okay, please. But you do need to gather the award. Pretty please. Yeah. All right. Amazing people. We are very lucky to get to hang out with them and work with them. So our next legendary award winner is not aware he's receiving this award today. However, his staff is aware. So I've known him for about 30 years, so I'm going to just say a couple of things. I try to have very special presenters for these awards, and I don't take that on. But this one is mine and James's. He'd probably rather be remembered for winning a state basketball championship and being student body president at Carson High, rather than for anything he's done ever in state or federal politics. Right? He's notorious for running late and for pulling an Irish goodbye when he finally shows up. I'm not lying. I'm not. He even keeps a missing person milk jug with his face on it. It's one of his prized possessions in his garage. He holds the record for the shortest address ever given to the state legislature because he remembers just how boring those speeches were and when he had to sit through them. He's got the mouth of a sailor, but he comes from the Army. He proudly served in the United States Army, Judge Advocate General, JAG Corps. He has a gift for analogies. Am I lying? No. Most of which don't make any sense to anyone but him. Okay, we get some of them. Unlike many of his colleagues, he refuses to be trailed by an entourage. Between here and Vegas, we run a lot back and forth. We have offices in both places. And there's only one airline that goes back and forth. It's Southwest. So if you want to get back and forth between here and Vegas, I probably have in the last 20 years, 1,000,000 miles. And often I'll see him on his way out to go to D.C., and he's on Southwest. And I'm usually A1 just because I'm on there so much going back and forth. And I'm like, hey, Mark, how's it going? Where you at? Where's your seat? He's like, I don't know, C-32. If you've ever flown Southwest, that's like the last guy on the plane. I think C-39 is the last guy. And I say to him, well, I'll just hold you a seat so you can sit up front and get off quickly. And he's like, no, I'm good. I'll just sit in the back. I like the last row. All right, Mark. So that's truly the thing. He refuses to be trailed by an entourage. And he's very humble in every single thing that he does. I've called him 1,000,000 times in the last 25 years. He's answered every time, and he's handled whatever we've needed handled at the state legislature or at the federal level. He's actually known my children since they were 5, and in fact, he wrote a recommendation for my daughter, and I think I told you about her, when she wanted to go into the Navy, and she had letters from many elected officials, but his sat on top. And when the recruiter opened the file and read it, and he looked at my daughter and he said, who are you? So she got to grow up with people like this. So our good friend, Congressman Mark Amodei, if you could please join us. All yours.
So as I was asked to do something that's completely stupid, which is to give this man a bad time and then hand him the microphone. Not definitely a right thing to do. I've had the fortune of working with him when he was in the state Senate and I was in the Assembly. We had a great time working in those things, and sometimes Mark couldn't always be on time for a meeting, so I became his warm-up band. So he'd kind of call out to different areas and say, hey, if I'm not there in time, make Settlemar speak. So now he's dropping everything. I don't know over there. But with that, he's been a great guy to work with even in this position. He's called a couple times excited when things happen in his congressional district that he doesn't necessarily know about. When they decided to remake Marlette Dam, he wasn't super happy they didn't bother to talk to him, so he contacted me and we gave him a rundown of what we knew. Even just the other day, we caught up, had lunch, and I showed him the old gym that he actually remembered playing in when he was in, what was it, 5th grade?
I didn't get as far as that.
He didn't get as far as that, he says. But in that respect, I remember him commenting, I sent him a picture of the place, and he goes, you know, when I played there, it was a hell of a lot bigger. And I said, well, I think you were a hell of a lot smaller. But it's been great to work with him in these capacities. I remember probably the funny story to me, though, is how him and Mike McGinnis, Senator Mike McGinnis, got along representing their districts. I'd be at different fundraisers, and usually go to a fundraiser, you might have an item or two that tends to be a little bit more feminine. So I see this pink robe, And I see Senator McGinnis bidding on it, and going up and signing his name up, and keeps going up and going up. And I'm like, why are you doing that? I go over there, and he's not signing his name. He's signing Congressman Amodei's name. And duly put, Congressman Amodei might have been signing a few other items up on Mike McGinnis's behalf. So at the end of the night, it was always interesting to see each of their faces and see what they won. But he doesn't need much introduction. So let me just say, to the original congressional district representative, Congressman Amodei.
Thank you very much. Am I supposed to talk now?
Like for 1 minute,
Okay,
because then you're going to come up and do your session over there.
I yield back. But I will be back. Since my talk is the one before lunch, being the person between people and lunch is usually not, so I yield back.
Just listen to Renee.